and welcome to another episode of Life in Colts Neck. I am Heba Shaaban, your local real estate expert in Colts Neck with Exit Realty East Coast. And today I had the pleasure of meeting Mike Viola, is the mayor of Colts Neck. So if you live in Colts Neck, planning to move to Colts Neck, you have to watch this episode till the end. Let's go meet Mayor Michael Viola. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm retired, so I do have some time to be able to dig into the township business. I also have the time to support my colleagues on committee because they're still all working professionals. There are times when they have conflicts on their schedule and I'm able to step in on their behalf as a member of the governing body because I have the flexibility. Love our community. It's a spectacular quality of life here. Mm-hmm. With our open spaces, our large properties, privacy that we all have because of the size of our properties, mm-hmm. Congeniality between our neighbors. Right. Neighbors get along and care about each other, mm-hmm. and a nice small town feel that still is a small town. It's managed and led as a small town, and it's pretty effective. It's a very effective way to engage with the public as far as delivering public services.
Right. So when people in Colts Neck come to you for help, what do they usually want you to help with?
Most of the time, it's after there's been something has occurred. Perhaps a violation of code that they were noticed, or they built something that they didn't know they needed a permit for or a variance for. And they come asking for help and guidance. And the only guidance that we really can offer is, there is a process. If you're going to build an addition, you need to have permits. Mm-hmm. If it encroaches on setbacks, you're going to need a variance. There are things like that we get a lot. Most of the feedback is after the fact, where maybe someone has done something, and rather than asking for permission beforehand, they beg for forgiveness afterwards.
Right.
Affordable housing is here to stay. We just are completing the third round. So each round of development that comes out from the state has different guidelines and different quantities of housing that need to be delivered. This is round 3. We made a settlement agreement with Fair Share Housing Center and the developers who had intervened in Colts Neck last March. And we're in the process of putting all of those pieces into place. What a township's obligation is, when we receive an obligation and a number of affordable units that we're supposed to have in Colts Neck, we're not the builder. We do not build it, we do not develop it. Our responsibility is to provide a real and fair opportunity that the housing can be delivered. Mm-hmm. So we're in the process now of getting through our settlement agreements and moving towards a completeness hearing with the court in May of this year. So what we've done over the last year is everything we said we would do in the settlement agreements, we've now been putting in place. So first, this is what we said we were going to do. Now we've documented and put in place what we said we were going to do. So we've got one more step to get through. And if we're successful, we'll be given a judgment of compliance, meaning that our plan is compliant with mm-hmm. the rules. Mm-hmm. And we would then also be given repose, which means that we would be protected from builders' remedy lawsuits.
Right.
A builder's remedy lawsuit is a builder has a plot of land that they either can buy or do own, that they would have a plan for building affordable housing that could help the township meet its obligation. But that happens outside of our control. Mm. Our plan is smart planning. We have a big plan here in the business district to develop out the business district. There's a lot of vacant land on the southwest side. Mm-hmm. Southeast side, of 34 and 537 that we would like to see developed. This is the business district. It brings more customers into the business district. It will bring more amenities. Mm-hmm. So we are looking to get that in place by mid-year.
So would this affordable houses is going to affect our schools, community?
It will have an effect. Mm-hmm. There are 3 locations as a part of our plan. And the thing about affordable housing is a community basically has 2 choices. You can Three, you can accept the obligation that you're given by the state and move forward with your plans to provide a real and fair opportunity for the housing to be developed. You can mediate a different scenario, or you can litigate. Any town that has litigated against their obligation has lost their case.
Oh,
Townships do not win those cases, and there are times when actually the obligation rises and leads to builders' remedy lawsuits. So we try to avoid that. We do not want to cede control of our zoning and the future of our township to a third party. We want to maintain control. So that was likely the major component of the decision to settle, was the fact that we as a township maintain control of our zoning. And the plan that we have put together is a smart and real plan. It's good planning on behalf of the development for compliant uses of the land in the township. This round ends in July of 2025.
wow.
It starts again July 1st, 2025. Round 4 begins. So affordable housing never is completed. It never ends. It moves from round to round to round to round. So we will do the best we can to provide the fair and real opportunity. Development could begin in one or two of the locations as early as this year. The other location is on Route 537, diagonally across from the high school, and the third location is just south of the Grand in the southwest corner of the township. It's actually the last property. It borders Howell and Freehold, Colts Neck, Howell, and Freehold, in the southwest corner of the township. So, will there be more folks in town? Eventually, yes. Will there be more children in school? Eventually, yes. I mean, if in fact this housing is built and sold and occupied, then obviously we will have a demand for more of the services. What funny story? Now,
What funny story?
Any story I thought of was relative to a phase in my life. So you have the early years. And I remember, with my friends in church on a Sunday morning before CCD, giggling and not being able to stop laughing. At the time, that was the funniest thing on the planet. Then you move into junior high and they say, "Here, pull my finger." And at a time that was a funny thing. Then you move into high school and you start doing sillier things with your friends. And in college, like putting my friend in an industrial dryer and watching him go through the spin cycle in the dryer.
No way.
It seems to be there's always funny stories, but they seem to me to be applicable to certain periods within your life. Right. So now, as I've finally grown a little older and just a little bit more mature, it's just gentle ribbing. We kind of have fun with each other. You do that in your family, you do that with your colleagues. Everyone's very sensitive these days, though, too.
I know.
So, obviously you keep that in mind more than anything, as folks are on edge and wound up tight and very sensitive to things.
So that's not funny.
It's not funny in a way.
No.
I think it's kind of like we've got this cancel culture that's going around. You're kind of like self-canceling, because you're worried about someone's reaction to something, so you prefer not to offer something or say something because you don't want to upset someone, or someone is super stressed or something like that. You don't want to cause any type of additional anxiety. So it's made people, I think, back off a little bit. It's unfortunate. Oh, geez, just open up any door and take a walk and you're in a beautiful spot. It's an interesting question. If you look back at the early part of the pandemic when we were all shut in, we live in a park-like setting. Almost anywhere you live in Colts Neck, it's like you're living in a park. You want to go in a park, you open up your back door and walk outside on your property.
Right.
It allowed for a lot of opportunity to still go out and mingle from a distance, one side of the street to the other side of the street. Mm-hmm. But we weren't in an apartment environment where you literally were locked into your domicile. We were able to get out and about. So we've got beautiful parks and reserves. We've got Big Brook. We've got Bucks Mill Park. We're in the process now of reconnecting the parks with our trail system. There was a trail system in town that over the years became overgrown, and pretty much nature reclaimed many of the trails. So we are in the process. Some trails were open last year and more will be open up this year.
Wow.
And it will actually connect different neighborhoods through the parks through a system of trails. Yeah, that are already there. It's all public land. We just have to clean them up and open them up again.
So is this like a new project?
It's something that over the years just kind of got away from previous governing bodies. There were a lot of seismic shifts that affected Colts Neck, the credit crunch back in 2008, some of the housing crisis that followed. We had many large homes under construction over the
Oh,
years,
yes.
and that has stopped. The McMansionizing of America seems to be slowing a little bit. But now we're getting back to, our finances are very healthy. We're in a very strong position financially, which is very unusual in the pandemic because our taxes, we don't have any large commercial ratables. We don't have a Wegmans. We don't have a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's or a
Yes.
Walmart.
Thank goodness.
That's by design. That is by design, specifically in the master plan. That We do not want big box stores in our community. We want to keep things small. Our business amenities are tailored towards the needs of the community, and that's how we want to keep it. But what that did is that makes all of our revenue burden in running the township onto our residents. Well, enter COVID last year. All of the townships that have malls, Freehold Mall, Eatontown, Monmouth Mall. In addition to the retail apocalypse, you add COVID, and their ratables have really tanked. So their revenue stream is dramatically affected. Ours has not been, because we have our residents. Most 98%, 99% of our taxation comes from our residents.
Right.
So actually, financially, we're in pretty strong position right now. So previous governing bodies worked on shoring up the resources. So I am in a position in my fourth year on committee here. I was a finance chair for my second and third year. This year, Committeewoman Fitzpatrick has taken over finance. Mm-hmm. But I do owe a debt of gratitude to the previous governing bodies, those individuals who served prior to my joining the governing body, because they paid very, very close attention to shoring up the finances of the town. They didn't get over aggressive in committing to things because of the revenue stream needed to shore itself up. So we pretty much have moved forward and beyond on what some of our colleagues from previous governing bodies put in place. So we're grateful for that. And we're not cheap. We're very frugal. We use our finances very, very, very deliberately, strategically.
Yes.
We make our investments for specific reasons, not out of want, but out of need.
Right.
And that brings us to the trail system, which existed, but because of unforeseen issues that occurred and financial stress, retail apocalypse, the housing market meltdown and credit crunch back in 2008 that went on for years, the subsequent recession, we've gotten past that, and we're getting back to some of the basics in investing into our assets, our recreation assets, and our municipal assets.
Perfect. So
I used to, as a youth, I was very active in athletics.
and what happened? No.
I grew up.
No.
I was a competitive gymnast, believe it or not. In my
Are you serious?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I'm a national champion and a 3-time All-American from a previous lifetime. Yes. So I retired when I was from actively competing when I was 23.
No way.
I coached on the Junior Olympic circuit for a little while, and then I went into business. So yes, I was very engaged in athletics. Athletics now, I used to play more golf. I can't play golf anymore. I've got some spinal issues that make it very difficult to play golf. So I'm a spectator now. I watch from the sidelines, and I walk a lot. I'm active in the township. I'm always walking outside. I walk the dog several times a day, and I take a 3-mile walk every day as well.
So if anybody see you, Mike?
I'm always seeing people. That's the best part
It's
of
so
being
nice.
involved in public service, is engaging with the public. And that has been the greatest negative impact of COVID, because we can't be together.
Right.
So it's kind of like it was a tease where we were able to be so visible and present in our community, and then COVID hit and it took all of that away. Looking forward for that to wane over time as we knock this pandemic out, and we can start spending more time together as neighbors.
But actually, I do see you every Sunday with everybody running, having fun, walking.
They're running. I'm walking.
I do see you all the time. So that COVID never stopped you, which is really good.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to take care of ourselves, and
Yeah.
you have to find ways to get around with the restrictions. And like I said earlier, we've got large, wide streets. We've got properties. I live in Clover Hill, so I have just an acre and a quarter. But that's, for me, that's a nice sized
right.
piece of property, So, but we can just get outside and walk and stay as far as you want away from your neighbors as possible, and
Right.
still try to engage with them. What makes a good life? I guess as you get older, and you learn this in marriage, I think, you learn this in all interpersonal relationships. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? I think it's more about being happy, than being right. Some folks are focused on always being right. And I think that's a short-sighted view of things.
Right.
I think it's more important to be happy. So my wife, Jenny, is the best. I am incredibly blessed. And I know that.
I see
and
that.
That is very, that's the most important relationship.
Family life.
Yeah. Is
that what makes you happy?
Yeah, and then the kids. But my siblings, etc. We're very close. We engage all the time. We just can't be together now.
Family life.
Yeah. How would I like to be remembered? I would like to be remembered as someone who really tried to do the best for as many people as I could. I think that's this responsibility, serving on Township Committee. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about the Township. And the decisions you make, the problems you solve, the only objective is to benefit the Township and the residents of the Township. So I would just like to be known that that's what I did. That too is near and dear to my heart. So in my career, I was in business. I'm a retired businessman. I know there is a balance between all of these things. I also, as mentioned earlier, we don't have large commercial entities, big box stores. We don't have those. Supporting the community, it's been great to see how 2 new businesses opened in the last 2 years, the Source Brewery and Colts Neck Stillhouse, which were very different, but they fit so naturally into Colts Neck. Do a lot of their sourcing of Colts Neck materials, Colts Neck grown hops, and the water, they say, is fabulous here. We all know we have great water. We're all well in septic, as folks know, so we privatize our services. But I think the big opportunity for the Township is in the business district that we are going to develop as a part of our affordable housing settlement. We are going to work with the community beginning in the summer, and we're going to go through surveys and opportunities to work with the Township, the property owners, commercial property owners, and residents as far as what really needs to be brought into Colts Neck as far as amenities that help the property owners be successful, number one, but they add value to the immediate surrounding area within Colts Neck and in Colts Neck at large.
Yeah.
In the confines of our master plan, which says these are things that we're looking to do and these are things that are prohibited. So that's the big opportunity for the Township.
So supporting local businesses is very important.
Well, most of the business owners are our neighbors.
Yes. So support your neighbors.
I don't think there's a greater commitment anyone can make to their community than opening up a business where you live. You put it all on the line. You live here and you work here. You develop your business here to live in this community. That's a great commitment, and I think that we have an obligation as residents to support those businesses. They took a risk. They put everything out on the line, and frequent them as often as possible.
And as a community and people who live in Colts Neck, I mean, we all like a small family. Everybody who seems like know each other. So.
Which is that's a really nice feel. I mean, it is, and that has been so hard with COVID because we can't be together. We're encouraged to stay away from folks, wear our masks, everywhere, social distance, et cetera, but you can't have large gatherings. We weren't able to do the fireworks this year.
Yes.
And that has become, that tradition has come back. That has been a fabulous event. I know the Business Association sponsors that. Thank you.
Yes.
And I think the event in 2019 had almost 5,000 people. And what a great opportunity it was to see all our neighbors.
All your neighbors, right?
CNBA did have the Polo Classic this past fall, which was a really nice, that worked out very well. That was very successful. So I know they're thinking of doing that again this year. So that'll be nice to bring that back on a regular basis. I would just say if you have a question, a concern, a comment, a suggestion, a complaint, reach out to someone on the governing body. We're all available. All 5 of us carry Township phones. We all have Township email addresses. Don't go to social media to get your answers. Come to us. Maybe we can help you cut to the chase and save you some time to get the information that you're looking for. Look to the website. We will be investing in the website this year and doing a redesign and a redevelopment, where our objective is to get the residents to look at the website for township information. What zone do I live in? When is my recycling? When is my brush pickup? When is my leaves picked up? All of that will be there for them to use. So I encourage folks to reach out, look at the website, and reach out with your questions, and we'll always get you the answer. It may not be right on the spot because I don't have all the answers, but if I don't know, I'll find out for you.
What is the website?
coltsneck.org.
That's it. Oh, that's easy.
Easy enough.
Perfect.
Viola@coltsneck.org. That gets you to me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.
It was really a pleasure meeting you.
Happy New Year to everyone out there. I know everybody's tired of the restrictions, but I do think that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I do not think it's the light of an oncoming freight train. I think it's the dawn's early light. But we don't know how long it is before we get to that light and before it becomes brighter. But hang in there. Still be mindful of getting through this. We've been almost a year. We've been dealing with this.
Yes.
We've come this far. Let's get through it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. And like I always say, buy local or buy local. Bye.